Hey guys, welcome to another patch update. This one is for Freeman Guerrilla Warfare 0.8. It's currently in beta right this second, but have have a release of it, and I've been playing it for a little bit. I will upload a video of just me playing around with it later on today, but for now, let's just go over some of the things they've added in via updates and what the plans are for the future. So we're actually going to go back a few days, about maybe a week. They expanded their development team, and when they expanding their development team, they also included what their plans are for the future. So they're planning to add features such as joining combat of other fighting enemies, which you will see me doing throughout some of my recordings, this video included. It's actually, a matter of fact, you'll see some soldiers standing around right now. These are not my soldiers, obviously. It's because I just joined combat with them. And then we will also have improved sound effects, which admittedly, we'll have improved sound effects, including how well you can hear gunshots from a distance, explosions from a distance versus up close. And they're planning to add new guns, improve old guns, add new scopes, weapons, all around lovely things. And one thing that they'll be adding, which is very, very good, your NPC's outfit will show up on the map. I don't know if you recall, but in my other playthrough, and you saw my character on the map, he didn't look like himself. He looked very different. In this one, you'll notice in my playthrough and through some screenshots throughout the game, the people, whatever they're wearing, actually are matching whatever's on the map, or rather, whatever they're wearing is what's going to show up on the map. So they're adding in getting pricing information, so you can pay the bartenders to give you information about the local settlement or settlements around it, and it can be handy too. Again, you'll see that through my video later on. I will pay for some information, and as a result, I'll end up being able to um, learn more about the settlement and more about what goods are worth being sold in this settlement, or where I could buy them in some cases. And then the next update that came out was roughly 7 days after that, and it was talking about modding support. So the game is intending to include modding support. So according to them, they're excited to announce having native modding support for Freeman Guerrilla Warfare, which has been hugely demanded by the community. And we are doing our best to make modding as friendly as possible so that even people without any experience, can mod the game and share their creations with others, which has gone over really well so far. Many people are enjoying it, or are excited for it and can't wait for it to occur. So you have to apologize. Every once in a while, I have to readjust the volume just because it's so loud in my ear. But we'll address that in a moment. And then turning up to about, it would be yesterday at the time of this recording, but maybe a day or two later based on when it's uploaded, they've released the test branch. So hello everyone, we just uploaded newest build 0.80 to test branch. They've made significant changes and improvements to the game, which include improved combat AI, which you can kind of see displayed while I play, but at the same time can't see. The improved AI is a double-edged sword. The enemies shoot you with more accuracy, which means I die a lot more. But at the same time, from your point of view, you might see your soldiers kind of sort of walking in a way that doesn't make sense. So the double-edged sword, you'll see that one. Improved graphics, which you'll notice immediately, even just doing a side-by-side comparison of the old game and the current game. You'll see there's a massive difference. And all new system, we made all the soldiers in squads, which make them look a little bit more like soldiers rather than ragtag individuals who got a hold of guns everywhere, which is also a really good thing, and I appreciate that change. And then they added new systems for a more in-depth city environment, which I mentioned before, and it includes things like city riots or city fires if you have low morale, or yes, low morale in the city. I don't know what will happen if you have positive morale, but you'll see changes there as well. Then they added new villages and bandit camps, which you'll see later on too. and then even the diplomacy system, which you'll see here now. Uh, if you notice, I just paid money to the Panzna battalion, and I had gave them, and it increased my relationship with them, and also being in that fight increased my relationship with them. You'll also notice there's an action counter there. The action counter is set at 3 and it refreshes every month, which means you only get 3 actions throughout the entire month to interact with anyone. And if the money amount you give is too low, your relationship won't go up, but the action count will go down. They won't take any money from you, but they'll just claim that it's too low. But you'll run out of action count and you won't be able to perform any other diplomacy for the rest of that month. I don't know if I want it to be at 3, but at the same time, I do kind of like it. So you'll see me attempt to hit a truce with the Bandits and the Uman Brotherhood, both of which don't like me, so they won't do it. And you'll also notice it can't go through even if they did, because I have such a low action count. But that point in itself is a little bit more interesting. We'll deal with it later. What you'll also see is, going back for a moment, with the interactions of the villages and the bandit camps, is that you'll be able to find these little logging locations, mines and stuff, and you can mine and even log and cut wood. These items can be used for trade to make yourself a little extra money, which is very cool. And there's also moments where you could find looter camps, bandit camps all over the place, and you can assault them for their little rewards. And the fights have a little bit of a challenge, which are enjoyable. They're not one where you can just go in necessarily and just storm the place and destroy everyone. Not, at least not early game. Late game maybe, but early game you most definitely can't do it. And then finally, they're altering. This is listed again. Sound effects, which again, it's supposed to influence how the gunshots sound, as far as I can tell, how the gunshots sound up close versus at a distance, and how explosions sound versus up close versus at a distance. Now, my thoughts on these updates are as follows, pretty much. I really, really enjoy the fact that they're going to add modding. I always love modding in type games, and I always like to see what other players create for a game. I myself have tried creating mods, but they don't go well. But I still enjoy trying to make them, and I enjoy seeing other people's creations and the hard work they've put into it. In terms of the sound effects, at least based on the current beta right now, which again, I must emphasize, it is beta, the sound effects the improved sound effects need to be improved. While I'm playing, which you will hear, it is so loud. The sounds are unbearably loud, and I can understand that's realistic relative to war. But if you're trying to do commentary over it, or you want to adjust the volume so it doesn't blow out your ears, it's impossible. You'll see me attempt to lower the volume several times throughout this video and the next video, never succeeding in lowering the volume of the actual sound effects. And they're so loud in certain cases that your gun at point blank range is not as loud as the explosions that are maybe 20 meters away, 40 meters away. It's ridiculous how loud certain things are. But I think they will fix that and improve it. Or it might just be that my download of the game is a little bit wonky right now. I don't know. But I trust that they'll improve it. The event systems I haven't really had much experience with yet. My next video I will probably attempt to take some cities and next video probably attempt to take some cities and see how they interact, see how I can interact with them and other people. But I don't know so far what will be the results of that. Diplomacy, again, because I started a new playthrough, my interactions in diplomacy are a little bit more limited, but I do like the changes that they've made so far. I'm interested to see if people will declare war on me and attack me aggressively before I take a city, or if they'll wait until I actually have a city and then they'll declare war on me, which would be interesting in itself. The new squads, the new soldiers are also very nice to me. They look really good. They look like true soldiers, or soldiers who are going through their training. It doesn't look like just people look like people who are just militia soldiers. Everyone. It makes sense for militia to look like militia, but it doesn't make as much sense for trained soldiers to look like militia. It doesn't make sense in certain cases. And what I mean is, I had noticed that there would be times where you'd have units that would not be listed as militia, but then they'd be carrying a flak vest and then a tank top with a very cheap pistol. That doesn't make sense to me. They should be carrying an assault rifle. Why are 6 of these guys all carrying pistols? That doesn't make sense to me. But they've changed it, and now more people are running around with better weapons and actually able to survive a bit better, which makes for a little more interesting combat. Even the raiders themselves have been given upgrades and given better weapons too, which I do like. And in terms of graphics, game looks really good now. Looks so pretty, and I'm also having less lag issues. The computer's really powerful, but this game, for some reason, at certain times would cause random lag spikes, which didn't occur this time. All of it came out really, really well, and I appreciate it. And the world map they made it looks prettier, so much prettier, and it looks so good. I can't praise it enough. So all of what they've done so far, it seems to be going over really, really well. The only thing I have a complaint about right now is the sound effects, but I presume they will fix that, or at least the one sound effect. I presume they'll fix it, and that in the future I won't have these same issues where the audio is just so destructive in my ear. But that's all I have for this news update. Thank you guys for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe if you did, and I will see you guys next time.